In the annals of Alcoholics Anonymous, a pivotal moment is recounted by co-founder Bill Wilson, often referred to as Bill W., involving a profound act of providence at the Mayflower Hotel. In the spring of 1935, Bill W. found himself in Akron, Ohio, grappling with the familiar desperation of alcoholism's grip. Despite his own sobriety, he felt an overwhelming urge to drink, which was magnified by the isolation of being away from home. Standing in the hotel lobby, he was drawn to the bar on one side, but instead, he reached for a church directory and made a call that would change history. This act of providence led him to Dr. Bob Smith, who would become his partner in founding Alcoholics Anonymous. Their meeting marked the beginning of a movement that has since helped millions worldwide. This story illustrates not only the power of human connection and support but also the mysterious forces that can guide individuals toward life-changing decisions.
I was left in the Mayflower Hotel with $10 in my pocket. But all of a sudden in the lobby of the hotel down there, I had my first temptation to drink since sobering up. And it suddenly dawned upon me that I might, while I had been granted by God a rebirth, it had been the effort to help others that had kept me sober. So I suddenly knew that if I were to stay sober, I needed to find another alcoholic in this town. So I looked down the church directory. There was a name, Walter Tunks, who turned out to be the Episcopal rector here. It was a little odd sounding, and whimsically I picked it out. Providentially, I think, too. And this good man directed me to another, a member of the Oxford groups here at the time, and he in turn gave me a list of about 10 names. I began to call them up. Well, it was a weekend. I couldn't make any immediate dates for that day. Somebody I had to see right then. At the end of the list was the name Henrietta Seiberling. And I thought, well, gracious, I met the old gentleman one time, and I can't possibly go out to this lady's home telling her I'm looking for a drunk to work on. This will never do. I walk up and down that lobby again, and a voice came saying, you had better make that call. I went upstairs and made the call, and here was Henrietta's delightful southern voice on the wire. And she said, I'm no drinker, but I think I understand. Won't you come straight out here? How much we owe our friend? Said she, I think I know just the man. It's Dr. Bob. He and his wife Ann are in a terrible situation. He's desperately trying to get over his drink. Ann's voice came on the wire. Said, Ann, it's the day before Mother's Day, you know, Henrietta, and Dr. Bob has just come home. He has brought with him a potted plant. It's on the table, but he's on the floor, and I'm afraid he can't get up, so we won't be there today. So nothing daunted, Henrietta said, well, so what about tomorrow? Now she said, Bill, you come out here to dinner and let's see. So on the morrow at 5 p.m, Dr. Bob and Ann stood in the door, and he did not look in the least like a founder. He was shaking like hell. He said, you know, I can only stay a few minutes. I have an appointment. So by way of identification, I thought, well, I know, Bob, no question, you're very thirsty, am I right? He was.
If you would like to hear more from members of Alcoholics Anonymous sharing their stories, check out our podcast page. Thanks for listening to Bill W.'s personal account of how Providence intervened when he felt thirsty, one dusty day in Akron, Ohio.